Hello and welcome back to the Fire Burns Within channel. Time for another anniversary review. In this one we are celebrating the 35th anniversary of a stone cold thrash speed metal classic, Megadeth's Peace Sells But Who's Buying? I first heard the album probably around the early 90s, I would say. Well, 93, 94 maybe, something like that. After I had initially heard my first ever Megadeth album, which was Countdown to Extinction. I worked my way backwards slowly from there, and I can tell you it was quite a culture shock hearing quite a different sound than when I first heard Megadeth on Countdown to Extinction. As Peace Sells was quite different in many ways, but I soon got the hang of Megadeth, and Peace Sells became a firm favourite of mine to this day. Track 1 is Wake Up Dead, of course, an absolute stone cold classic of old school thrash metal. The stomping, headbangable riffs that rampage all over this beast sound as inspired today as they did 35 years ago. This track can only be an unmatched 10 out of 10 for me. It was just great to listen to it again. It brings a lot of listening pleasure to listen to these classics again. Track 2 is The Conjuring. This is about as satanic and evil sounding as Megadeth is ever going to get. Of course, Dave Mustaine would go on to almost disown this song, and I don't think they even played it live for a long time after Dave turned into a born-again Christian. But it did make a surprise and welcome return to the live arena quite a few years ago now. This song had great solos, great bass playing from Ellefson, very savage riffs, and a prime Dave Mustaine snarling vocal. So 9 out of 10 for The Conjuring. Track 3 is the title track, Peace Sells But Who's Buying? This just is a classic anthem. It's played at every Megadeth gig I've ever seen. Probably every Megadeth gig ever. I don't know, since its release. The lyrics are still relevant today. The catchiness of the chorus remains steadfast and relentless. The main chugging riff will turn non-headbangers into headbangers. This track has to get a 10 out of 10 from me. Track 4 is called Devil's Island. Another super fast and galloping evil sounding song. Dave's vocals are just raw and raspy as hell. The riffs are just insanely quick and evil sounding. Very cool song. 8.5 out of 10. Track 5 is Good Morning / Black Friday. I've always loved the acoustic and moody start in Good Morning before we go on the rampage with Black Friday. Some of the best stabbing riffs of Mustaine can be found on this track, with solos burning a hole in your ears. Full rage Megadeth in full force and effect, and it only gets faster as it goes along. This is just a stone cold classic again. 9.5 out of 10. Track 6 is called Bad Omen. Another spooky and evil sounding guitar melody to start off, and then we go off on some of the best riffs of the whole album. Very cool and groovy during the main verses, and then the song suddenly absolutely takes off in the same way as Black Friday did. Just insane speed, cementing Megadeth's status as the world's state-of-the-art speed metal band. Has to be a full 10 out of 10. Track 7 is I Ain't Superstitious, which is a cover of a Willie Dixon song. The album takes a slightly strange turn with this cover of a song which actually has a very cool swagger to it, like a sort of blues rock, sort of hillbilly thing. I actually don't mind this version, as I've never ever heard the original. Dave goes to town on the vocals, and the song ends up thrashing it right out after the sort of groovier start. So a pretty cool tune, it must be said. Pretty cool cover. 8 out of 10. Track 8 and the final track on the album is My Last Words. It starts off with a great acoustic picked guitar line with a great melody, and then as usual on this album, Megadeth takes no prisoners, excuse the pun. The riffs absolutely cut loose and rip through cold steel with a galloping attack. The vocals from Dave are quite catchy, and there's some nice bass playing as always. I really like the marching beat section when the guitar slows down a little and then goes absolutely hell for leather again. A stone cold classic to end the album on. A rousing high. So it has to be a final 10 out of 10. So has the album stood the test of 35 years? Well, the answer to that is a resounding yes. The production, whilst good, sounds a touch dated by today's standards, but it's a long way ahead of the sound of On Killing Is My Business. The bass playing from Ellefson is clear and very audible. Mustaine's riffs are about as fast and savage as they ever got in Megadeth. I mean, if you want actual speed metal rather than, say, the thrash of Rust in Peace, this is the album to go to. My overall rating for this album on its 35th year anniversary is 9.4 out of 10. So happy 35th to Peace Sells But Who's Buying, an all-time classic of the thrash and speed metal genre. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more as always.